Are you one who suffers with high blood pressure and wish that you could treat it without the extra expense or side effects that medications come with? If so, then keep watching because in this video, I'm going to be telling you 10 ways to treat high blood pressure without medications. Hi and welcome. If you are new here and don't know me, my name is Dr. Lindsay Marie. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician, and on this channel, I like to share a message of hope, health, and wellness for the mind, body, and soul. If you don't want to miss any future videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Now let's get into this topic. To start off, I wanted to go over a brief review of what is high blood pressure. So as you can see, based on this chart by the American Heart Association, it tells us what the normal value is versus what hypertension is. So a normal blood pressure is going to be anything less than 120 systolic over 80 diastolic, and anything higher than that value is going to be elevated, and depending on the elevation, it can be hypertension stage 1, stage 2, or a hypertensive crisis. Nowadays, they make blood pressure cuffs that you can buy at the store that you can use at home to check your own blood pressure, or if you don't have your own home machine, certain pharmacies, including CVS, Walgreens, or Walmart, do have a way to test your blood pressure at their store location. As adults, it's a good idea to check your blood pressure at least once a year so that you are aware if you have high blood pressure or not, and if you need to be treating it to stay healthy. This topic is also very important to talk about today because so many people suffer with high blood pressure. It is estimated that over 45%, or at least 108 million people in the United States, suffer from high blood pressure. Things like age and genetics can lead to high blood pressure, and those are two things that you can't control necessarily, but today's video is going to be focused more on things that you can control. So the first way to lower your blood pressure without medication is through diet. Eating the right diet is the cornerstone of healthy living, and today I'm going to be telling you what type of diet to eat to lower your blood pressure and what foods to avoid to prevent having elevated blood pressure. You want to be eating a DASH diet and not a CRAP diet. So what do I mean by that statement? Well, eating CRAP foods, which is an acronym that I discussed in one of my videos called Detox Your Body, talks all about the unhealthy, toxic foods that you need to avoid in your diet to live a healthier life. And I encourage you to go watch that video so that you know exactly what types of foods to avoid in your diet to avoid high blood pressure. But for this video, let's talk about the DASH diet. So what is the DASH diet? Well, it was a diet developed by the National Institute of Health to help lower blood pressure. The DASH diet is otherwise known as Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. Its goal is to help you reduce your levels of sodium intake and eat foods that are rich in a variety of nutrients. These foods include whole grains, vegetables, fruits, low-fat dairy, lean meats, nuts, limited fats, and sweets. In the near future, I'm going to be making a video all about the DASH diet so that I can go into more detail on exactly what types of foods to eat. But for now, just know that there's a whole entire diet out there dedicated to help you lower your blood pressure. And that brings us to the second way to help lower your blood pressure without medications, and that is to decrease your salt intake. The DASH diet that we have just talked about has created specific guidelines to follow to help reduce your amount of sodium within your diet. In the standard DASH diet, it is recommended to get no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. They also have a low sodium DASH diet, which recommends getting no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. The lower sodium diet is obviously a little bit more strict with its requirement, but it can be more beneficial to those patients who also have other chronic conditions, including diabetes or heart disease. Just for your reference, 1 teaspoon of table salt contains 2,325 milligrams of sodium. That's more than the recommended amount of sodium per day. So what are some tips that you can use to cut back on your daily intake of sodium? Number 1, don't add extra table salt to any of your food. Number 2, use sodium-free spices or flavorings instead. Number 3, you can rinse any canned foods to help you reduce excess sodium. Number 4, make efforts to buy foods that are labeled as no salt added, sodium-free, low sodium, or very low sodium. And number 5, stay away from all processed foods, but especially foods that have naturally higher sodium, including things like luncheon meats. Overall, if you are not sure what the best recommendation for your sodium intake would be per day, make sure you consult your doctor. The third way to lower your blood pressure without medications includes exercise. How does exercise lower your blood pressure, you might ask? Well, getting regular exercise makes your heart stronger, and a stronger heart can pump blood throughout your body with less effort and less pressure on your arteries. As we age, we naturally have a rise in our blood pressure, so having consistent exercise can also prevent that rise. It's been shown that getting moderate exercise at least 3 times a week can lower your blood pressure by up to 10 millimeters of mercury. That's as much as some blood pressure medications. Of note, it does take a consistent effort of this exercise and can take up to at least 1 to 3 months to start showing results. But by reducing your blood pressure by that much without medication may be worth it. So what are some tips to increase your weekly exercise if you are one who doesn't normally exercise or who doesn't like going to a gym? Well, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. As long as you are increasing your heart rate and your breathing, that can count as good exercise. And this can include doing activities such as household chores, mowing the lawn, raking leaves, playing your favorite sport such as basketball or tennis, climbing stairs in your house for a good amount of time, jogging, bicycling or walking, swimming, or my personal favorite, dancing. You want to aim for 30 minutes a day for most days of the week, but if you are one who's never exercised before, you'll want to check with your doctor about what's right for you. The fourth way to lower your blood pressure without medication is with weight loss. Now, we just talked all about diet and exercise for lowering our blood pressure, and you might be thinking, well, doesn't that lead to weight loss as well? And the answer is yes. There are so many people who struggle with obesity and weight loss, but I promise you, if you follow the recommended guidelines for exercise and diet, you will lose weight. It may just take a little bit of discipline and perseverance. But as far as your blood pressure is concerned, weight loss has been shown to lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Achieving just a 5% of weight loss can lower your blood pressure anywhere from 5 to 20 points. That's pretty significant. Basically, you can expect to lower your blood pressure by an average of 1 point for every 2 pounds of weight loss. So for instance, if you lost up to 20 pounds, that would lower your blood pressure by an average of 10 points. That value may vary from person to person, but overall, achieving weight loss by either diet or exercise, like we already talked about, can help you live a healthier life and lower your blood pressure. The fifth way you can lower your blood pressure without medications is with certain foods. Here we go on the topic of diet and foods again, but I just wanted to give you a few foods that have specific properties that are known to help lower your blood pressure. So the first one is celery. Celery contains compounds called phthalates that help relax blood vessels and are shown to lower blood pressure. One study showed that cooked celery was responsible for significantly reducing blood pressure, but also a lot of people are on this trend nowadays where they are drinking raw celery juice, and if you look it up, it has tons of health benefits, including lowering your blood pressure. The next food is carrots. Carrots are high in something called phenolic compounds such as chlorogenic and caffeic acids. These also relax blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and can reduce blood pressure. The next food I wanted to mention today is tomatoes. I also did a video all about something called an anti-inflammatory diet, and in that video it lists all the foods that also help reduce heart disease and therefore blood pressure as well. So be sure to check that out if you are interested. Tomatoes contain lycopene, which is a heart-healthy nutrient that has been shown to reduce blood pressure in up to 21 different studies. And the last foods worth mentioning today, I'm just going to list them, and they are chia seeds and flax seeds. These also help to significantly reduce your blood pressure, and I recommend getting them more into your diet by adding them to your favorite smoothie, let's say, or also a hot breakfast cereal such as oatmeal. Alright, we are about halfway through the list now. If you are getting a lot out of this video, make sure you like it, and again, don't forget to subscribe because I'm making more videos like these in the future. The sixth way that you can lower your blood pressure without medications is with supplements. Now, supplements may not be for everybody, and you do need to do your research before taking a supplement and consult with your doctor to see if it is okay, but supplements have been shown in certain studies to reduce blood pressure. And today I'm going to go over 2 that you may have heard of and 3 that you may not have heard of. So the first one is garlic, and garlic has been shown to improve immune function, but it is also known to reduce blood pressure. It has tons of properties that I also talk about in my anti-inflammatory diet video, so you can watch that one as well if you want to learn more about garlic. The second supplement is fish oil, and fish oils contain a healthy fat known as omega-3 fatty acids, and these fats are known to help reduce cholesterol as well as high blood pressure. Fish oil and omega-3 fatty acids can be obtained in your diet by eating high-fat fish, including salmon or mackerel, but you can also take them in the form of a supplement. And now for the supplements that you may not have heard of that can help reduce your blood pressure, and the first one is Hawthorne berries. Hawthorne berries are a small berry-like fruit that grows on trees mostly in Europe, North America, or Asia. They have known to be a part of Chinese medicine for centuries, and a double-blinded study with over 300 people has shown that the supplement can significantly reduce your blood pressure. The next supplement is known as olive leaf. Olive leaf contains important polyphenols, and they are known to reduce blood pressure in up to 6 weeks. They can reduce your systolic blood pressure by up to 11.5 points and your diastolic pressure by up to 4.8 points. And the last supplement I'm going to talk about that is known to lower your blood pressure is called hibiscus. Hibiscus is a flowering plant that is found all over the world, and studies have shown that it can lower your blood pressure in just 6 weeks as well. There were 5 studies that were done that showed an average drop of your systolic blood pressure by up to 7.5 points and your diastolic blood pressure by up to 3.5 points. And one really good way to take in the supplement of hibiscus is by drinking hibiscus tea, which you may have heard of before. Overall, getting supplements in your body through a liquid form tend to be better absorbed and better processed throughout the body. So the next time you're at the grocery store and cruising down the tea aisle, be sure to check out hibiscus tea to help aid in lowering your blood pressure. Moving on to the 7th way to help lower your blood pressure without medication, and that is with sleep. Now, I just did a video all about the health benefits of getting your proper amount of sleep, and I put it out last week, so if you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check that one out. In that video, I talked about how getting the proper amount of sleep can help reduce your risk of getting diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. As you can imagine, if sleep overall helps you reduce your risk of heart disease, it can also help reduce your blood pressure. And adults need an average of anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to be considered the proper amount of sleep. If you are one who has trouble falling asleep or struggles with insomnia, be sure to also check out my video all about insomnia. The 8th way to help lower your blood pressure without medication is by reducing your stress. Stress can wreak havoc on our health, and it is important to reduce our stress overall so that we can also reduce our blood pressure as well as other chronic health disease, including heart disease. One of the main ways stress affects our bodies is by the release of stress hormones. These hormones can include cortisol, which increase weight gain, and also adrenaline, which is known as a vasoconstrictor, which can decrease the size of your blood vessels and lead to higher blood pressure. Stress stimulates something known as the fight or flight response, which is when these hormones are released, and overall it can increase your heart rate and increase your blood pressure. Over time, a persistent and uncontrolled stress response can lead to some significant health conditions. Stress can affect your sleep and lead to anxiety, so overall you want to be practicing ways to help reduce your stress. And these can include things like actively trying to get your proper amount of sleep, limiting the demands in your life so that you don't feel so overwhelmed and stressed out, and that might mean choosing to work less hours or saying no when you need to, focusing on things that you can control, avoiding certain stress triggers that may make you angry or stressed out, including being in rush hour traffic, practicing relaxation techniques or meditation, and lastly, trying deep breathing exercises when you feel a stressful moment coming on. Slow, deep breathing is known to reduce your stress response, lower your heart rate, and lower your blood pressure. The 9th way to lower your blood pressure without medications is to stop smoking. Did you know that each cigarette you smoke can raise your blood pressure for many minutes after you smoke it? Overall, chronic smoking can lead to an elevated blood pressure, so you want to try to cut back and quit so that you can lower your blood pressure and avoid medications. not to mention avoid heart disease, lung disease, and lung cancer. And that brings us to the 10th and final way to help lower your blood pressure without medications, and that is by reducing your alcohol intake. The recommended alcohol intake for adults varies depending on your gender. For women, it is recommended to have no more than 1 alcoholic drink, and for men, it is recommended to have no more than 2 alcoholic drinks per day. So what is the serving size considered for 1 alcoholic drink? For beer, it is 12 ounces of alcohol. For hard liquor, it is 1.5 ounces of alcohol. And for wine, it is 5 ounces of alcohol. So you want to try to stick with these recommendations because drinking any more than this amount is considered drinking an excessive amount of alcohol, and that can lead to higher blood pressure. It can also decrease the effectiveness if you are on any blood pressure medications and cause other health conditions as well. And that wraps up our discussion today on 10 ways to help lower your blood pressure without medications. I hope that this information was helpful and informative for you all. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments section. I would be happy to answer those for you. Any other comments or suggestions that you have, let me know as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Until next time, bye!